Welcome back, everyone. This is GTA Failer. In our last video, we did the aptly named Grand Theft Auto mission for Kenji. That's where we dropped off 3 cherry red sports vehicles right in this unmarked garage next to the pay and spray. And now we'll head back to Kenji's for the next mission. This one is called Deal Steal. I'll explain the premise even though we haven't seen the cutscene just yet. The idea is that there is a deal scheduled between the Colombian cartel and the Yardies, and we are going to impersonate the Yardies and try to get the Colombian cartel to think that we are the Yardies. And then we are going to take out all 3 of the Colombian cartel that are at that deal and blow up their 2 cartel cruisers and pick up a briefcase of some unknown contents. Along the way, we need to pick up a contact of Kenji's, and I've read that the contact is presumed to be Kanbu. Remember, he's the guy we dropped off at the dojo. I think it was 2 missions ago. Anyway, it might be him. Maybe it's somebody else, some other Yakuza member. Right. So if you pass this mission, you earn 25,000 bucks, and you earn access to the next Kenji mission, which is called Shima. Okay, so here we are checking out the cutscene, and while we do, let me just read a tiny bit about the voice actor. So here we're making a save state right by the mission start marker. So you won't really be able to hear Kenji here because I'm just talking right over him. But the voice actor, according to Wikipedia, is Les J.N. Mao. So last name is M-A-U. Born in the mid-1950s in Honolulu, Hawaii, he is a Japanese-American actor and voice actor. Mao appeared in TV shows such as Gideon Oliver, Law and Order Criminal Intent, and Unforgettable. And the wiki says that not only did he voice Kenji in GTA 3, but he also voiced a pedestrian in GTA 4. So how about that? Okay, so reading there, the message says we got to go get a Yardi vehicle, which is the Yardi Lobo. And I just look for these vehicles in the wild when I'm speedrunning this game. And what I'm looking for is a red vehicle. I honestly don't know all the details of what this vehicle looks like, but if it's red, there's a decent chance it's the one that we want. Um, and then once I found a red vehicle, I look at the roof, and if the roof is yellow, then it's definitely the one that we want. But if the roof is white, then it's just a pretender, and it's not the vehicle that we want. So that's a red vehicle, but the wrong color roof. I want a yellow roof. Still looking around here. There we go on the left. Let's go turn around and grab that one. And I'll stand in front of it. It's kind of hard to see, but if it's daylight, then you can look inside and you'll see that the seats there are covered in a leopard print. That's the fabric on the seats. But anyway, here it is. Red vehicle, yellow roof. That's all that I look for. It's kind of a long 2-door vehicle. And apparently, being in this isn't going to be enough to fool the Colombian cartel, even though they recognize me in any vehicle from the first mission of the game, including an ambulance. But this Yardi Lobo provides sufficient disguise, I guess. Okay, so as I started, this is my first attempt at this mission in like a year since I was last playing GTA 3, and I forgot how crummy the handling is on the Yardi Lobo. Took me a little while to get used to it. Okay, and so now we're on the way to pick up our contact, who again may or may not be Kanbu from the 2 missions ago, the first Kenji mission. And we wait for him to very slowly come on, but get in the car. So we get a message there that says you need a Yardi car. So he will very slowly make his way around to the other door and get in. And then we'll get a message saying that the deal is going to happen up at the hospital in Rockford. So let's go. Okay, coming back to the wiki now, I will tell you the voice actor who plays Asuka. This is Kenji's sister and another mission giver in this game. Leanna Pai, P-A-I, Leanna Pai. Looks like 2 N's in Leanna, but alternatively, the wiki says 1 N in Leanna is okay. Could be 2 N's with an I at the end, Leanne Pai. All right, so we're supposed to go into this blue marker. I like to make a U-turn here. That way, the car is between me and the bad guys. And so then the car shields me from some of the bad guys. So we're just going to hop right out and blow these guys and their vans to bits. You got to kill the 3 guys and the 2 vehicles and pick up the briefcase. So after we pick up the briefcase, we're supposed to drive back to the casino. I'm not going to show you that drive here. It's long and uneventful, and I will show it to you in my final attempt at this late in this video. But for now, we're going to skip on to trying to find interesting things to do in this mission. So first, I wanted to see what would happen if I went to the Kanbu location without getting into a Lobo first. Wanted to see if he was here or if I needed to get into a Lobo in order to spawn Kanbu. So no, he does not exist until you get into a Lobo. It's weird how he knows from way over here that I have gotten into a Lobo. So I think that means, well, first we'll also check at the hospital, see if the cartel are here. I didn't think they would be, but maybe they're just hanging out waiting for the deal. But no, they also got word that the deal doesn't happen until I get into a Lobo. All right, so then I think we're gonna go find a Lobo. Here's one. And I'm going to get in, which triggers Kanbu, and then I'm going to get out and drive over to Kanbu in a non-Lobo vehicle and just see if he's still there or if he disappears because I have abandoned my Lobo. One last thing about the voice actress who plays Asuka, who does Asuka's voice, Liana Pai. I did find a clip on YouTube of her in an episode of Law & Order, and it was so cool just to see the actress sounding exactly like Asuka, but it's not Asuka, it's an actress. Okay, so here's Kanbu. I'm here. He doesn't recognize me at all. I'll punch him in the face, see if that jogs his memory, but nope, he wants nothing to do with me. So I included the link to that Law & Order clip on YouTube in the video description below, so check it out. All right, so here we are. Wanted to see a couple of things. First of all, what would happen? Could I continue with the mission if I had a wanted level? Also, what happens if I drive over to, like I pick up Kanbu and the Lobo, but then I switch to a different vehicle and then show up over by the where the deal is supposed to take place. So there's no marker over here telling me to get in the marker, but I'll just drive right in front of the Colombians and in a different car. You have been spotted. The deal is off. I'm going to talk about the logic of how they spot me here, but they don't spot me in a Lobo later on in this video. But I don't get it. I don't buy it. Okay, so nothing much else happens here, but do notice I have a 2-star wanted level, and then I'm going to get pulled out by the police when I stop looking to the side, and I'm going to get a 3-star wanted level through no fault of my own. Watch this. Bam, right, so another police officer smashed into my car, which ran over the arresting police officer and killed the arresting police officer, and that goes on my rap sheet. How is that fair? Okay, what happens if we kill Kanbu? Well, you fail. All right, so that's no good. What if I pick up Kanbu? Well, I'm not going to kill him this time, I promise. And I'm going to start the deal, and then I'm going to drive away, but not too far away. I wanted to see what would happen. What would happen with Kanbu if I was not there to kind of babysit? What would happen with the Colombian cartel? Like, would they be interested in Kanbu, or would they be interested in me? So let's see what happens here. Okay, so pretty clearly the Colombian cartel are interested in me, and I think it's kind of hard to see because back in the distance, and I'm playing this at double speed because it sort of took a while for everything to play out, but I've got 2 Colombian cartel chasing me and Kanbu chasing them. Oh, he's got a gun and he just punched that guy and then took out 2 of them. Holy cow, Kanbu is a boss. Look, he doesn't want to get in my car. I'm even doing the hydraulics and everything. But then once the other cartel member gets close, Kanbu says, oh, I know this guy. And he takes him out. So Kanbu took out all 3 of the Colombian cartel members, and then I pick up the briefcase. But I can't go to Kenji's yet because I haven't destroyed the 2 vehicles. So this is me just sitting here thinking, is there anything interesting I can do? And then it dawns on me, what if I take one of these 2 vehicles that needs to be destroyed? So I'm going to do drive-bys to destroy the other one. Gonna head over to Kanbu. He didn't recognize me a second ago when I was in another vehicle, but he recognizes me right now. I guess it took the Colombian cartel being killed for Kanbu to recognize who I am. Here we're just trying to get a wanted level up to see if I can complete the mission with the wanted level. So here's the long drive I was talking about before. I think this is quadruple speed. Okay, now back in regular speed with the wanted level, and I still can't complete the mission because this vehicle needs destroyed before the mission marker is going to show up down here. So I'm going to put this basically right where the mission marker is going to be. And 1 rocket take care of the vehicle and the police. So I'm going to get a 3-star wanted level here. Okay, take the briefcase back to the casino. Well, that's convenient for me. I'm right here. I'll also point out Kenji's is missing an apostrophe. What's the deal? It's the casino of Kenji. Kenji apostrophe S. Come on, Rockstar. Okay, next up, I am going to. Oh, also notice that Kanbu disappears. Like he was right here with me, right? Like we both walked towards the casino, and then he just disappeared. Okay, so here we are going to start the mission, and then I'm going to drive off like I did in the last clip, but I'm going to drive far away. I'm not going to just hang out here in the garage. I'm going to drive very far away so the Colombian cartel will not be able to chase me because I'm going literally to the far south of this island. Like I didn't know if I would fail because I've abandoned the deal. Like sometimes that happens in some GTA missions. Okay, I think there's no radius where I can abandon the deal. So then I head back again in quadruple speed just to see what's happening. So I expected to see one or two or all three Colombian cartel there and probably like Canbu's carcass sitting on the ground. And I'm counting the arrows and the dots, and I don't see much down there. All I see are the two cars and the briefcase. I don't see Canbu or the cartel members. So I am assuming everybody's dead somehow. I don't know what happened. And then oh my gosh, Kanbu snuck up on me. He scared me. This guy's a stone cold killer. He took out by himself, single handedly, took out the three Colombian cartel members, and then had the wherewithal to like do like a hide and seek peekaboo thing in preparation for me coming. Okay, so that's it. Just take the briefcase back and you pass. I'm not going to do that here. All right, next up, we are going to pick up Canbu, and this time we're going to head over to Portland because there's something funny we can do with a vehicle in Portland when we have a passenger who is going to follow us around. We'll get out when we get out and then get back in when we get in. So maybe you've already figured out where we're headed here. It is the Crusher. So we're going to make a no collision, whatchamacallit, Yardy Lobo. So here I'm holding the look backwards button and then I hit the get out button, still holding look backwards. Then I hit the get in button, which puts Canbu back in, and then I yank him out and I'm still holding the button until I am back on the ground. Now, we had a massive bounce. So first, the note, extra gun could be useful. Go back and pick him up. I will. But I want to point out the massive bounce that we had when we were dropped from the Crusher. And and I think that the massive bounce is a function of the hydraulics, right? Like this car doesn't have a horn. When I push the horn button, there's no horn sound. It's just the hydraulics lifting up. And so the extra bounciness of this vehicle is going to cause me a lot of frustration later on in this particular attempt. Okay, so now we're going to, in fast forward, drive back, carefully back. Here we go. Where's the tunnel? I can't find it. Is it over here? No, I hate this car so much. Okay, made our way to the tunnel. And we could go right through the blue wall over to Shoreside because we have a no collision vehicle, but we're heading to the hospital. I wasn't sure exactly what I was going to do here. I didn't know what to expect, but I didn't expect the blue mission marker to stop like 10 feet off the ground. You're seeing this, right? It's not just me. I don't know what's happening here. Okay, so it comes back. There it is. Press the horn to get the deal going. So first I wanted to drive real close. I want to get in the face of the Colombian cartel members, kind of harassing them with my car. Would they recognize me? Would they get out? Would they be intimidated by my comically oversized vehicle? Okay, so none of the above, I think. And then, like because of the bounciness of this vehicle, I fell through the ground and into blue hell. And unfortunately, I landed on the tunnel. Landing on this tunnel instead of like being placed right back in the hospital parking lot or somewhere nearby up on land cost me literally 5 minutes. So I'm going to fast forward through this, but look at how much difficulty. I swear I'm not trying to lose my vehicle. I'm just trying to drive. And the bounciness of those hydraulics cost me 5 minutes. It took me 5 minutes to get back out of the tunnel. Um, I was like misoriented. I thought I could drive on the sidewalks, but I really think that the road is the only place that has like collision. I don't know. It's weird. Like it seems like there's less collision on the roads here than I thought there would be. So I got kind of turned around. I don't even know which side of the blue wall I'm on, and I run into like any of these what should I call it? Like the tires of the other vehicles. Those ones do have collision, and they can just flip me right over. And even doing a 3-point turn, I can't even do it. I just keep driving off the sidewalk into blue hell. I really kind of felt like I was in purgatory here, just trying to get this stupid Lobo out of the tunnel. Like I didn't think it should be this hard. I don't know why Rockstar didn't anticipate that I would pick up Canbu, and then drive over to Portland and do the crusher glitch to get a no collision Lobo, and then just do some shenanigans in the hospital. Like why was that not accounted for by Rockstar's programmers? Okay, so I think it's almost been 5 minutes. My time in purgatory is just about done. We started this with like 7 minutes on the clock, and finally, I see the light at the end of the tunnel, literally. Okay, enough whining. Here we go. Please do not let me fall through the ground anymore. I cannot handle that tunnel. Okay, so I think we're going to get out here, and then I'm not going to get out. Sorry, I'm going to push the horn button, which will use the hydraulics and not the horn, and just see what happens. Okay, so the deal starts. Kanbu gets out, and he's going to be a madman and just start shooting everybody. And I didn't know what would happen with these Colombians, and check it out. They are just in like stunned silence. They're just standing there, like sitting ducks for Kanbu. Sorry for the jitteriness. This is a function of the car being massive with this glitch. Kanbu's going to go around the car and get a better view on this other guy. Look at this. All right, gang, this is a new strat that I have found. You want to make this mission easy, you just head over to Portland, make a no collision Lobo, and then just let Canbu go to town on these sitting ducks. Okay, so I don't have the heart to play with this car anymore. I'm not going to go finish this mission attempt. My goodness, that was frustrating. Stupid hydraulics. Okay, so next up, my final attempt at this mission, and the something. The challenge that I set forth here was that I was going to get Canbu, and then after I pick up Canbu, I'm going to immediately kill Canbu, which surprisingly does not fail the mission. Like if you kill him before you pick him up, it's mission failed. But if you kill him right after you pick him up, totally fine. Totally fine. So the challenge was pick up Canbu, immediately kill Canbu, and then be able to pass the mission without firing any bullets and without running over any of the Colombian cartel. That's the goal. It's a very pacifist strategy, and so that means I need to somehow take out all three Colombians and the two cruisers without firing a single bullet or running into any of the Colombians with my car. So that's the plan. Okay, so this particular Lobo, the guy was spooked by the firing the other yardies that were shooting at me, and one of those bullets, I guess, hit this Lobo, and that's why he was starting to drive away. But we got him. We got him. Look how poorly this thing controls. My goodness. Okay, so heading over to pick up Canbu for the last time, and yeah, let's talk about the logic of this mission. So if we drive over to the Colombians in a Lobo, then we can go in the blue marker, push the hydraulics button, and they don't recognize me, right? They get out and they're ready to do the deal as scheduled with the Yardies. But if I go in front of the Colombians in any other vehicle, and it literally could be any vehicle, right? Like I just pick up a vehicle from the wild and I drive over in front of them, then they recognize me immediately. Okay, so I think here we're just going to take out, I thought we'd punch him a little bit. I think we ultimately go with the flamethrower. But how is it that they can recognize me inside the vehicle, inside any vehicle in the universe, except for um, a Yardi Lobo? How does that make sense? All right, so we have disposed of Canbu, and now we're headed to the hospital for the last time. And I'll point out a couple of things here. So this is from the wiki about the horn. There's no horn actually on the Lobo except in the definitive edition. So from the wiki, in the definitive edition, the player can honk the horn and the hydraulics are activated by a separate button. Okay, next thing to point out is a typo in the subtitles. The subtitles are going to say, let's see, after you press the horn and the cutscene plays, the subtitles misspell destroy the car as destory the car. All right, let's see. That was me reading a quote from the wiki. What does it say here at the bottom? Destory the vehicles. Indeed, I will destory them. Okay, so my plan, again, no weapons, no firing, no nothing. I just want these guys to blow up my car, but not pull me out. And then run, run, run. And I was hoping that the explosion would be close enough to all of the Colombian cartel and the two cartel cruisers that it would take all five of those out in one single blow. And it worked. And that was actually my first attempt at it. To be fair, when I got down there, that wasn't the challenge that I had decided on. I was intending to just use the flamethrower to take everybody out. Probably would have been pretty straightforward, but I just felt like it was time to use the flamethrower. But then on that attempt, which I was planning on using the flamethrower for, I realized that my car was on fire and maybe I could use no weapons. And so this is sort of some revisionist history on my part, where I changed the challenge to something that I accomplished already. Okay, so I think that's about it for this mission. We'll head down and just refill my health because I took a little bit of damage. And the reason I'm doing it now and not after the mission is that our next video, our next mission we're going to tackle is the next Kenji mission. And we're going to be right there after we complete this mission. So just figured I would fill up my health now and then save after we complete this mission down at Kenji's casino. So I believe this is mission 3 out of 5 for Kenji. So we've got 2 more missions left to go. And just a reminder, you got to do all 5 of Kenji's missions before you do the Donald Love mission, Wakagashira Wipeout. If you want 100% completion, that is, because the Kenji missions are not required for anything. They're not required to advance the story. They're not required to unlock the final mission, the Candelina mission called the Exchange. But they do count for percentage. So make sure you don't get locked out of those Kenji missions because they all become permanently locked after you complete Wakagashira Wipeout. Okay, so this is pretty straightforward. Another mission done, making great progress, gang. And this mission, yeah, I guess this mission is pretty fun. I'll rate all 5 of the missions once we get to the 5th and final mission, but I like this one. The Artie Lobo was terrible to drive, but fortunately you don't have to drive it much. And we walk into Kenji's Without an Apostrophe Casino, and mission passed. Give me my cash. Okay, so we'll make our save state right here, and this is a good time to stop. We'll pick up here next time. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you real soon.